Hey everyone, today I'm going to be teaching you how to fold my pigeon design. I'm starting with a 14-inch square of Japanese foil. It's purple on one side and white on the other side. So let's start. There's quite a bit of pre-creasing for this model, so try and stay along. Okay. We're going to start by folding the paper in half, both ways. And you'll notice I already put the diagonal creases on the sheet, and you should also fold the diagonals on your sheet too. Fold it in half once, fold it in half again. Okay. Okay, now we're going to fold some bisectors in this triangle. So turn it over. And fold one bisector like this. Okay. We're going to fold the bisector on this side too. Okay, just like that. Okay, now we're going to fold the crease that runs through this point and goes perpendicular to the edges. Turn it over and fold this point to this point, and the same on the other side. Just like that. Turn it over again. Actually, let's leave it on this side. We're going to fold this edge to the center line, bisector. You can see that the kite fold here is touching the diagonal right there at that point. Unfold. Okay. Now we are going to fold bisectors in this triangle. This triangle right here, we're going to put a rabbit ear inside this triangle. Okay? So this is your pivot point right here. You're going to bring this edge to this edge. You only need to fold this crease from, here's the pivot point right there, short towards the edge, and fold it towards the center line, which is right here. And that's all you need right there. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side from this point through there. Here's your pivot point right here. Here's the pivot point, just the short part right here, and then right to the center line right there. Okay, there's your rabbit ear inside that triangle. Alright, now we're going to make a crease that connects this point over here from the crease we just made across to the same point on the other side. And it's going to be a valley fold on this white side. I forgot to mention, the way I'm folding this model, you're going to have a white pigeon, and it'll have purple stripes and a purple head. So if you want yours to be whatever color you want it to be, use paper that is just like that. Okay, so you see here we've got hitting that point on this side and that point on this side. Okay, great. And now we're going to fold the corner here to this point, the intersection with the diagonal and the crease we just made. That point right there. I told you there was a lot of pre-creasing, and there's a lot more to do after this. Doing the same thing on the other side. Okay. Unfold that. So we've just made this line. The point where this line intersects this edge, we're going to fold a new crease that goes from that point to this point right here, which is perpendicular to that edge, and it'll intersect this point. So we're going to fold like so, starting from that point on the edge. Make sure it's perpendicular. And fold up, it'll intersect with this point right here. And that makes a square, and then it'll intersect with that point right there in the rabbit ear. Just checking to make sure my points line up. They're pretty good. Okay, now repeat it on this side. From this point through to that point, and then to this point right here in the rabbit ear. This time I'm going to start in that point in the rabbit ear. Mark that point off. Make sure it's perpendicular. Then it hits that point, and finally hits this point right here. If your points don't match perfectly, don't worry about it. It's probably just because your square isn't perfect like mine isn't perfect, or just a little bit of sloppy folding. It'll be fine in the end. Okay, so now we've just made these two new creases. Okay, now let's fold the bottom edge to this horizontal line. You can see this one we made before. I'm going to fold the bottom edge up. Pre-crease, pre-crease, pre-crease. It's that kind of model. Okay, what's next? Now, let's look at this point and this point. We're going to fold a new crease that goes 45-degree angle like this from that point. Let's turn it over. Let's go like this. Here's that point again for you to notice. I'm going to fold straight over like this at a 45-degree angle. Start on that point. And then you'll see it goes from that point, it intersects with this bisector right there. It also touches at this point. You can use that line for reference as well. So that's all you need of that line right there. Right to that bisector. Okay. Same thing on the other side. Starts from this point right here, and then it goes to this bisector right there. Okay, and now we've got that intersection right here and this intersection right here. We're going to make a crease that goes through both of those points all the way out to the edge. So keep an eye on those points right here. Oh, you'll also notice that this fold, this corner, is touching this corner right here, this line. So you're folding this to that, and it's intersecting this point. Okay, just like that. You can go all the way through if you want. You only really need it right outside here. You don't need it inside the middle, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so now what we've done, if you look, is we've got this path that's equal width, and it runs from here, then it turns again, then it turns one more time like this. You got this path that looks like a Z with a bottom line going down, and this is going to be pleated in half, and you're going to sink it in that shape. You can look in the crease pattern to see, but we're not going to get to that quite yet. Okay, now let's make the rest of the bisectors around this point. We're missing a line that goes from here through and from here through like that. So let's put those creases in. So just find that point right here where all these bisectors are going around. Find this point right here. We're going to fold through like that. There's the first point. There's the second point. Then you can use this line here. It's going to line up with that line right there. It's a bisector. Same thing on the other side, just find that point in the rabbit ear. Then it goes to this point at the nose, this point, and then use that line and all these other lines. See, everything lines up. This line, this line, this line. They all line up. Okay. Great. Alright, how about some more creases? Now you have to bisect this point here. So basically you're just going to fold this edge, the outside edge, to the diagonal. You only have to go this far, between this point and this point. Only that far. Where it intersects with this line. These two. That point. Okay, and now on the other side of that, we have this point. See these lines coming out of this point. We're going to bisect like so. Bisect that 45-degree angle. You can see you can use the bisector as reference, and also this point right here. You can see the lines. Don't cross that point, and then intersect the one we just made. Only that far from here to here. And now we just made this rabbit ear right here, this triangle. Everything's bisected in there. 1, 2, 3, rabbit ear. Alright, and now let's do the same thing on this side. We've got this angle and this angle. Okay, got that. Now, we're going to pre-sink. We're going to pre-crease the sink for these two rabbit ears. So fold a mile and a half. This line, not this line, the second one. Fold it through there, like this. Now we're gonna reverse fold this router. Actually, let's do it this way, it's easier. Now unfold on the white side, the outside, through that second line, like that. Okay, now we're gonna reverse fold this paper in. That. On this side too. Okay, now we're gonna fold this point up like that, just to get this crease here for reference. So you fold up like that. You don't need to fold that far, you don't need to fold the rest. Just like that. Actually, let's go ahead and fold the rest too. That'll make it easier later. So fold that whole thing across like that. Then fold this point to that point. Pre-creasing this sink. Just like this. And unfold that. Unfold this. Then unfold that reverse fold. Okay, now do the same thing on this side. I'm going to fold this up. Go all the way across. Then fold this point up to that point. Unfold that. Unfold this and that. And then unfold everything. Lots of pre-creasing. Alright, so what's next? We've got mostly everything done. Well, I shouldn't say that. We're about 3/4 of the way done. A few more things to pre-crease. Alright. Let's go back to this path that I was talking about before. Goes from here up, turns there. We're gonna put a crease through the center of each one at a time. So let's start with this easy one right here. Take the center line, the book folds, grab part of it like this. We're gonna pleat it to that line, that next line. Okay, and you only need to fold to there where the diagonal would hit that crease. That. See, we got that crease now in between the two lines. Now repeat the same thing on the other side. Okay, like that. Now this one, this path and this path are separate, but we're gonna just do it all in one at once. So just take this mountain fold right here. You can see the one I'm grabbing right here. And pleat that up to the next line. You don't need to go all the way, you can just go to about there where this line would intersect. Okay. That. Like that. Now, the next one, this one right here. So you've got 1, 2, here's number 3. So you grab this crease right here, and that goes through this point right here to make it a mountain fold. Then we're going to pleat it like so to there, to that line. Repeat it on the other side, grab that crease. just like that. And finally, we got this last one that runs all the way through here. So you take this crease, so you're going to pleat it to this next line right there. You don't need this crease in the middle here, so just make it sharp on the outside. Okay. So now you can see that path again. Goes from here, turns to there, goes up, then out to the left, or out to the right. Great. Now what you want to do is take this pleat you made originally and actually extend that a little bit so it comes all the way up inside this rabbit ear. See, I'm creasing it all the way over here. We're going to use that later to help us sink this rabbit ear too. Do it on both sides. Okay, great. Now let's pre-crease these guys here, these molecules that will make the leg and the toes. So what you want to do is fold a water bomb base. Okay. Now you see that it's organized so this whole rabbit ear is visible in this triangle. See the whole rabbit ear and that point, and this side there's not really any creases except for these pleats running down the center, like that. All right, now we're going to use this crease that runs through here, valley fold it up. So we can reverse fold this part in, like so. Do the same thing on this side. Okay. I can fold this up. Like that. Okay, so now we're going to pre-crease the sink for each of these molecules, which is going to be sunk into 4. So, start by folding this edge to this edge. Now fold this edge to that line. And finally, fold this line to this edge.
Did my head just get on camera? Try and keep my head out of the camera as much as possible.
Okay, so that line to that edge. One, two, three, four. 4 equal parts. Same thing on this side. Okay, that part's done. Now you can unfold all this. That's the only reason why we did it. Okay, now we don't need this little bit of paper in the corner here, so fold this up to pleat widths. That. We're almost done? We're almost done now. We just need a few more creases up in here, and then we'll be ready to collapse. Alright, let's turn it around. Got that stuff up here. Now, we're going to start by folding the corner to this point right here. Make a crease only this far. Now we're going to fold this corner to the midpoint of that edge, just like this. Start from here, fold this far, then intersect with that point right here, and then fold a little bit further, like so. Same thing on this side. Everything's always symmetrical. Intersect with the diagonal, and then go a little bit further, like so. Alright, just like about like that much. You can see the kite fold comes through there, about that far. Okay, getting there. Okay, now we need to fold. We need to take this rabbit ear has these precinct creases. We need to take this one and make it longer. So you see this crease right here, fold along that crease, and then make it a little bit longer till it hits the diagonal and then goes past the diagonal, like so. So you can see I just made this crease go from here to there. On the side, take this crease, make it longer. Okay. Now we need to make a crease that runs from this point. See where the diagonal intersects with this crease? This point right here, about this far. So fold this point to this point, make that crease. All the way. How far do we need to go? Just a little bit, just right there. Okay, just make it a little bit extra long just to make sure we're getting it in the right spot. Okay. Now where that crease intersects with this line, see this line right here, I'm going to connect these 2 points. Yes, we're going to connect these 2 points. Okay. And then you can go all the way to this bisector right there. So it goes from the center of this rabbit ear over to there. Repeat on the other side. So first we got to do this, fold this, turn it over, fold this point to this point. Crease right there in the middle. And then from this point to this point, we're going to make a new crease. Okay. We're so close now to being done with the pre-creasing, because I want to be done with the pre-creasing. I don't know about you. Now we're going to make a new crease that connects this point to this point. Right here, these 2 points. Okay, so we just put in this crease, which is the mirror image of this crease, and the same over here. So we've got those 2 little creases in that shape right there. One more crease, I swear. Now we're going to make a crease that goes from this point to that point, making a little square shape. Okay, is that really all? Did I really say it was all, or did I lie? Because there's 2 more creases that you have to make. Hey, but I swear that's it after this. So now, look at this rabbit ear, this point right here. We're going to fold perpendicular to the edge just a little bit like that. You can see why I haven't made a tutorial of this model up until now. And then from that point to this point. Okay, let's just do it on the other side, and we'll be done. That is all the pre-greasing. We're done. Figure out the rest on your own. Just kidding. Alright, now we're going to begin the collapse. It should be fun. So first, fold everything in half. Actually, what I'm going to do, if I have some tape around here, is put a little bit of tape right on this point. I actually don't have any tape on my desk, but I recommend for you folders that you put a small piece of tape right here. In fact, you can put tape all along the diagonal here so that it won't tear, because it's likely to tear. Oh wait, here's some tape. Not quite the right kind of tape, but it'll do. So you can put some tape down the center like this. And this will make it so you don't get, the paper doesn't tear. This is just for practice anyway. When you fold the nice one, you have to use nice paper that won't tear. But when you're practicing with foil, it's helpful if you use some tape. Okay, that should be enough. I'll put a little bit more right there in the center. All right, taped up down the center. Now let's fold. Start by folding it in half. Feel like you have to recrease the center line because of the tape. Okay. Okay, now we're going to fold this rabbit ear. So start by folding it in half like this. And now push down like so. And fold the rabbit ear like this. You can see how at this point it's asymmetric. This point is inverted and this point is pushing out. We're going to change that in a second. So, we just folded that half of a bird base structure, as you can see. Now you're going to outside reverse fold or sink this point to make everything symmetric. As you can see, what we're going to do next is we're going to fold along these creases and squash like so. Okay, so we've got this. It's not laying flat. There's no need to make it lay flat. This is all you need. Now what we're going to do is we're going to sink that path that I mentioned previously. All right, this can only be done all at once. So start by using that mountain fold that we pre-creased right there. Mountain fold there. Come across like that and switch to the next mountain fold. This is mountain fold, the third mountain fold of this path. 1, 2, 3. And once you get up to this last one, come out the edge like so. once you get all those in, you can collapse. You can actually make it flat. On this side at least. So here's the creases again. Pretty cool, huh? That path. That's what you need. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 parts. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side. Okay. Got it. Now we're really all laid flat. Everything's symmetric. Everything's looking good. Okay. Okay, now let's do this part. Let's sync this part. So first, I fold this up like this, and then refold these guys. Okay, now we're going to sync along the precreases. Okay, it's all sunk. Just like that. Tail. Okay, now let's sync this part right here. These things I told you about earlier. So fold this over, and look at this rabbit here. Fold this in like that. I'm going to open sync this. So my left hand is pushing it out from inside from my right hand. Same thing on this side. Okay. Now we got to wrap this whole upper portion of the paper around like this so that we're going to see purple or whatever color you're using. So I'm just going to loosen up the paper a little bit. But I have this tape on the other side. Push it down like that. Okay, everything's all fixed from that now. You just gotta collapse it back just the way it was before. Okay. Now this next part is tricky, so look carefully. So we're going to look at this crease. This is the important crease right here. The short crease, and then these three parts of this triangle. So we're going to make a valley fold here. This is a mountain fold. And then you make sure this point is inverted. And bring those two together like so. See how I brought them together with my left hand? Now once you bring them together, let this crease get unfolded. See, this bisector is now flat. And these two are together, locked together like this. Now all you have to do is make a little crimp. See that little space right there? Just make a little crimp right there. Just like that. And now you can lay this flat. This crease will get extended a little bit. Just like this. See how it's all locked in place? And then you just finish that off like so. You can take this paper right here and get it out of the way with an inside reverse fold. Just like that. Okay, now we can do the same thing on this side. So I'll do it slowly again for you. So see, these are the two parts of the path. My hand right here is going to push out right there. That's the most important crease. It goes from that point to that point. We pre-creased it. Now this valley fold right here, you're going to end up laying that flat. It's just going to go away. Now, look at this valley fold and these two creases. See, 1, 2. We're going to bring them together. Make sure this point is inverted. Bring them together. the hand behind. And meanwhile, you're letting this open up. Okay. So I just brought those two together. The valley fold is now flattened out. And now you can see you got this little triangle of paper right here underneath this. So simply make a little crimp. And then valley fold along this crease that's straight down. Okay. Now, valley fold this over, like so. And now this paper right here, just inside reverse fold it out of the way. And finally just finish off that part like so. Okay, now what about this paper? This paper, you just have to get the bisectors that we pre-creased before. Like this, but then incorporate the sink that we pre-creased. Like so. And you'll notice that it wants to go along these creases, which are like a modified rabbit ear. See how it goes like that? The same thing on this side. You got the base mostly collapsed. Let's do the fingers and toes. The toes need to be reverse folded 3 times. So first, pre-crease the first one like so. 1, 2 bisectors, 3 bisectors. So, you guys should know the routine for this. Reverse fold once, twice, 3 times. And you can do the rest on your own. Once you reverse folded all three, just take this paper, mountain fold it just like that. And you can fold it inside, valley fold. Inside. Okay, just like that. Now do the same thing on the other side. Now that you've done the reverse folds on the feet, now we're going to use some pre-creases from before to make a center flap that pops out right about here. All right, the way you're going to do that is you're going to reach inside this paper underneath the wing. So here's the wing and here's this paper underneath. And if you can see, we've got this modified rabbit ear here, and we're going to push up. Like, we're actually going to push down like this to show us some more of these creases. Once you push down like this, you're going to see this little square here. See this little square? That's the square we're going to use to make our center flap. But you have to do it on both sides at the same time. So I'm just setting it up like this. This is how you want it to look on this side right now. Now, so on this side, here's the paper underneath the wing. Open this up. Extend this mountain folds straight across like so. Now push down here. Okay, so now you see there's a square right here on that side, and the square here on this side. And then we just close it up. See how we just made that little flap? We need this flap because it shortens the body, and we're going to use this to make the belly three-dimensional, the stomach three-dimensional. Okay. So now we're going to make a valley fold along this edge, like so. Then we're going to fold along that valley fold along all layers and shift the wing into this new position right here. Okay, like so. Now we're going to bring this edge, the bottom edge of the wing, up to that line. So you have that point hit there, and fold it through all the layers. Now we're going to use that same crease to valley fold this paper back. And you'll see that it's a little bit offset like that. And that makes your first stripe. If it looks a little bit, this looks a little bit big, so I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. There we go. Just like that. Now, this part with the purple corner, we're going to color change that. So open up the paper a little bit. It's tough because it's locked. And foil always rips. Push out like that. There we go, wrapped it around. Get it back how it was before. Get in there. There we go. So now you got, this is white, you got the stripe here. Alright, let's go ahead and make the second stripe. The second stripe is the cool one. So we're going to take this paper and fold it so that the cut edge is parallel to the other stripe, and there's a little gap, like that. Now, take the top layer of paper here, and you're just going to use this as the pivot point right there, and shift at 2 places. At the bottom, see I'm making a tiny little shift there, and then shift at the top, like so. Now, you're going to mount and fold along the back part of the stripe. Get rid of all the white, like so. And then you're going to bring the paper back, just with a normal, regular valley folds. But then as you're valley folding, get a little bit of that paper on the bottom to disappear, like that. See, the paper went behind. Okay, and you can rotate this whatever angle you like, just like that. Now you can mount and fold that little bit of paper behind. So that is a wing on this pigeon. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side. So get this guy up on top of that one. First thing we do is we valley fold here. That. Then you take all the layers, you shift them like this. Then you fold this up like that to that line. And now you use that line to make your first stripe. Why isn't it making a stripe? Because this layer is on top of that one. There we go. No. Okay. Okay, now we got to color change that part. Do this gently so you don't rip the paper. Okay. That. Bring the paper back into place. Go. Now, make the stripe. Second stripe. Okay, now I've got 2 wings. You can get these wings a little bit out of the way now. Alright, now we're going to work on color changing the tail, which is kind of interesting. So fold this flap up like this. Now take the tail and fold it, make a pleat that brings it to that line. Okay, so pleat it up to there and now pleat it back like this. Now using that little bit of paper, we're going to swivel, make a crease that connects from that point to that point, and bring it to the center line, like so. Now do the same thing on this side. Now unfold that. We're going to pull the paper one layer at a time out like this. So you pull it out like that, and you fold along the mountain folds and the valley fold like this. And that layer of paper gets changed. Now you do this one, wrap it around. Okay. Get that out of there. Okay, so you see how we used that little flap and the swivel to pull the layers out on the other side. Now you have a different color tail. You can mount and fold this paper, or like this. Okay. Now, take the legs and the body. First, take this flap, fold it back down, like so. This flap goes down. Now take all this paper, fold it up, and then do a little rabbit ear, like this. To change the angle of the legs in proportion to the body. Now you should have something like this. Okay, we're almost done now. Now we have to do the shaping of the legs and the head. A little bit on the wings. Oh, and most importantly, we have to make this model 3D, which is really the cool part, isn't it? Alright, so let's do that first. The first thing you want to do is take this portion of paper and inside reverse fold it like this at 45-degree angle. Because the idea is we're just going to be unsinking that paper straight out. This is a pre-crease for that. So, let's do it. Put your hand inside the center like this, find the middle, which has tape on it. That's a good thing. Okay, now see I'm pushing out. I'm switching these valley folds to mountain folds. Okay, so far so good. Remember, on your first practice model, you don't have to worry about everything being so neat. You're just trying to figure out how to make the model. And I haven't folded this model in quite a long time, so this is like a practice for me. But you fold it a few times, and you'll be able to do everything really, really neat. Alright, so now once you have like this part isn't all going to get unsung, just a part of it is. So you want it to be something like this. Just make sure that paper stays in there tight. Fold it in half. Like that. That's it. Alright, now this guy's got a stomach. Alright, so you take this part of the wing, you just mount and fold that behind. Like that. And this part too, just mount and fold that behind. This is all shaping, so you can really do this in any way you want. You should look at pictures of pigeons and make your pigeon look like a real pigeon, or like whatever pigeon you want it to look like. Fat, skinny, the wings can be this shape. Things can be more geometric or more natural. You really get to decide at this point. Alright, so here we got the 3D body, the head. Let's do the legs. The legs are pretty long in this model, but a real pigeon has very short legs. So start by folding the legs out like this. Now taking most of the leg, just getting rid of it, pleating it like so. Then you gotta round it. Shape it. I also recommend, this is a practice model, when you do a real one, a display model, use much larger paper. So this is 14 inch, and I recommend using 24 inch paper. I think that's about 60 centimeter paper for a display model. Oh, first, pleat it. Like that. Try to make the legs even. Then mount and fold all that paper behind. Okay, and I've got some legs. Foil's the worst, but it's really important to use it for practicing because it's so easy to shape and very thin. But I don't really like foil very much. Alright, so obviously you want to spread out the toes. You can do that any way you like, just make one toe go backwards, because that's what pigeons look like. One toe goes back like that. The other toes all go forward. Get one of these guys. Okay. Okay, next, the head. Let's do the head, alright? So pigeons have a pretty short neck, about that short. So that's where you want to make your first crimp. So just pinch like so on either side and get about 90 degrees like that. A little bit more than 90 degrees. Alright, now we're going to make another crimp that's a little bit right about there. Same thing as before, and this is going to make eyes. Okay, like that. Now, once you got both crimps, you're just going to basically pleat twice. One, two pleats. Fold that in half. Take this paper, and you're going to make a little eye from it. It's simple, but it's all about how you do it really neatly with really nice paper. Really thin, strong paper. And nice color. This purple looks terrible. Alright, so shape the back of the neck like this. Make it more curved. Get rid of a little bit of paper in the front here. Okay. Again, this paper is really too thick, but it's all about making it your own. Okay. Alright, that's just about it. That's how this model is made. This is exactly how the model on my website is made. And this is how you can make yours too. So I recommend using about 24-inch paper. You can use very thin paper. And I hope you had fun folding this. Good luck on your own.